not a big deal.
Ian, I'm going to drop it so there's no eccentric.
All right, we are in traffic right now. We're going hands-free, and I'm not going to be giving you any eye contact, even though I want to. But I figured I'd come on here. I'm just driving back from Newport right now, picking up some food after the gymnasium. Finally having my first meal of the day. It's 4:35. I'll probably be eating at around 5 p.m. today. I dig the intermittent fasting. I know people are going, oh, you need 5 square meals a day, blah, blah, blah. Your metabolism is going to shut down. It really doesn't. But what you do is when you got the intermittent fasting going, you start to elicit something called cell autophagy, which is when your cells, they start eating the bad parts of themselves. PSA, they are selling Girl Scout cookies at Pavilions in Laguna right now. All right, how's it going? It's Saturday night, doing a little Bible study and a little A2 milk. So started the day with cleaning the house, then a long beach walk. It was fun to see all the surfers doing their thing. And then, in case you don't know, I've had microfracture surgery on both my femurs. Once when I was 16 on my left, and then I had the right done when I was 24. So at least once per day, I really hone in and work on the knees and the issues that I have with them. But today it was knee over toe stuff. So did that in the gym, hopped in the ocean afterwards, came back, did a lot of computer work, then got out to the deck, threw on a little Speedo, tanned it up while I was finishing some workout out there, and then did another workout up in Newport. So I've got 3 really badly bulging discs in my low back ever since I was 19 from a surfing accident. So worked on the knees earlier, then it was time to go make sure the back is functioning properly. So was over there, and you'll notice I'm dropping the weight from the top, meaning there's no, I call it eccentric, but there's no eccentric part of the lift. So the eccentric, or the lowering down of a lift, is what tears the sarcomere, or the muscle fiber. And when you do that, it takes longer to recover because you're sore. So if you drop it from the top and you don't feel it going all the way down, you can recover a lot faster. So that's the reason I do it. The tough part is finding a gym that will allow you to do it, because it's loud, and I get it. But I love the ability to do that because it is perfect for what I need. So came back, I went to Pavilions to get this, and I saw outside, they're just the cutest girls selling Girl Scout cookies. So I went over there, and it was just awesome. They had the best spirits, the best smiles. And I asked them, hey, like, do you guys do tips? And they said no, but you give it to them anyway. My favorite thing, and a mentor told me this, is whenever you see somebody selling their wares, you go up to them, and even if you're not going to buy anything, you talk to them, you let them try to sell you. I mean, it's so tough in this day and age to make a living, right? Especially if you're selling something. And it's a courageous act. And I think it's really important to acknowledge people and honor people when they're doing stuff like that, especially when they're young and just amazing young women like that. Really, really cool. I mean, I guess they're not young women yet, but you know what I'm talking about. It's tough. Even when you're selling a lemonade stand when you're younger, you got this sense of, okay, this is exciting, but I hope people like me. I hope people buy what I'm selling. So in this day and age where it almost seems like capitalism is made out to be a bad thing, I think it's super important to honor the people who are actually getting out there and they're trying to sell you stuff. I think it's amazing. It's really, really cool. And speaking of which, when I was in Newport getting my burrito, there's this old lady out there. Maybe she wasn't that old, but she seemed pretty old looking. But the light was hitting her just right. She was working at the flower shop. And I just had to tell her, hey, you know what? You look beautiful right now. And I just saw her brighten up, and you can tell it made her day. But I meant it. It was genuine. And it got me thinking. It's like the power of the compliment is so real, especially a present, a genuine, and a heartfelt compliment to somebody. I know in this day and age where it seems like we're all like walking around with RBS, resting bitch faces most of the time, or we're thinking that people are out to get us, or we're too busy to talk or even smile. I think it's so rad when somebody takes the time and gives me a compliment. So I really like to pay that forward and just do that as much as possible in a very genuine way. So whether it's a young pretty girl or an older pretty lady, you gotta let them know when they look good. I mean, why not put a smile on somebody's face? Just to add to that, my Uncle Tom, he asked me when I was younger, he said, hey Derek, have you ever seen an ugly flower? And I said, no. He's like, exactly. Every girl is a flower. Every girl is beautiful in some way. And I think we're kind of getting off track here, but you know how I like to ramble. But this gets me into this idea of acts of kindness. So I read somewhere that when we commit an act of kindness, like we give somebody some encouragement or a compliment, or we give them a gift, we do something nice for somebody, not only do we feel a rush of dopamine, but they feel that rush of dopamine too, vice versa. They feel it, we feel it. But what's really interesting about this is anyone who's observing this interaction, they get the dopamine as well. So let's say I give a nice old lady a compliment. I say, wow, you look beautiful right now. She feels good. I feel good. But everyone watching this go down feels good as well. Imagine if we just live like a life like this, when we're like, hey, how can I elevate the room that I'm in or the environment that I'm in, and just bring up the level with love, caring, and joy. So that's what I was mulling over on the way back home. Just like, this is awesome. This is cool. But you know what's not so cool is I just found out that the lead singer of Three Doors Down died. He died of cancer. It seems like everyone's getting cancer these days. I've got my, I guess, own ideas about why that's happening, but I'm not gonna share those here because I don't want to get censored or anything like that. But it's tough when people you grew up with, I mean, he was like just the soundtrack of a lot of my high school years. It's tough when all of a sudden they're taken away. And it just shows you just how fragile life is and how important it is to live each day like it could be your last. Not that you want it to be, but just going balls to the wall and really just giving all of your heart. So, actually, piano's right there. Let's see if we can lock into a little bit of some Three Doors Down. There it is. Good. It's around there, yeah. I'm here without you, baby. I'm just alone, my lonely mind. Here without you, baby. And I think about you all the time. Here without you, baby. Is you with me in my dreams? And tonight is only you and me. Such a cool song. It's around there somewhere. Where were we? we'll finish this up pretty quickly. Creative Calling is the book tonight. And I just want to show you, so here's some of my books. I've got a lot more than that, but I've always loved reading. And instead of always going out and buying new books, I think it's really important to keep rereading the books that I already have, just until they start to reshape my life in a really profound way. I've got to assimilate all these amazing ideas in these books before I branch out and get new ones, because I'm still not living in a way that is aligned with or reflective of a lot of the ideas in these books. So I'm going to keep working hard to live by the wisdom in these books a little bit better. But Chase Jarvis, amazing guy. He was the founder of Creative Live, which was a learning platform, and he sold that. But before that, he was an action sports photographer, and before that, he was a soccer player who quit and then quit med school as well. So just crazy trajectory. But reading this the first time when it came out is what got me thinking about creating courses online and eventually creating an app, because I wanted to create a product that was a one-to-many situation as opposed to just a one-to-one. And I also wanted to create something that wasn't detrimental to the environment in any way. So instead of like a fast fashion or any kind of doodads that just end up in a landfill, I wanted to create something that did not harm the planet in any way. So I came up with the idea of doing an online-based business. I've been going with that ever since. But Creative Calling, reread the first 12 pages of this, and he basically is talking about the importance of creativity, how it brings life or liveliness and freshness and color to our lives. And he defines creativity as combining two or more elements to create something new or useful. And that seems like a pretty simple definition, but there's a lot to unpack with that, and that's what the book gets into. But Creative Calling is all about learning to trust your heart and trust yourself, and to take the tools that you already have and use them to make something happen out in the world. So excited to get back into this. I'm going to be sharing everything I've learned from this in the next few days. And I guess that was a longer video, but I'm kind of starting to dig these. This is day 25, about a third of the way through 75 hard. And we're rocking and rolling. So again, happy Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you have a wonderful night.